Hello everybody, this is Stephen Bird, the founder and creator of Deer Valley Lights, and today we're going to be starting our very first video on the how-to videos of creating the light show, how Deer Valley Lights runs, and basically how it all came to be. So right now we're actually in the movement stage. We're moving over to a program called X-Lights, but we have been running happily on a program called Light-O-Rama for about 4 years, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at today. So as you can see already, across this entire top part, we've got the Galaxy of Light shows. These are from 2017, and all the way across you can see all the Light-O-Rama files along with the X-Lights folders right in there, the X-Light 64 and X schedule. We're not going to be worrying about those right now, but we are going to be worrying about the main one is right here, which is Light-O-Rama Sequence Editor. So basically, I don't have a video at this very moment, a video output, so I can show you guys the controller or have it next to me. So I do have the second best thing though. I'll show you guys online of how it works. But basically, this right here is the controller I'm referring to. This is the Residential Series add-on CTB16 PC ready to go. Basically, you can order these in all different types of formats. You can order them in like ready to go. You can order them in build kits. I have definitely seen people build. I actually have a friend of mine who just built, I believe it was 2 last season. So that's definitely something that you can do. I've seen that multiple times. But you know, from what I've seen with my experience, it's best to go ahead and buy just a ready to go. If you're brand new, it's even better to buy the starter package, which is just a little bit more, gives you your Ethernet cord, all that, to go ahead and get ready to go. It's, you know, decent. I honestly, I pretty much suggest it. I think it will work great. Now for me, I've been doing light shows coming up on our 5th year right now. Like I said, our 5th year anniversary of shows of this size. And I've actually grown out of that, so I'm moving over to what's called X-Lights. But like I said, definitely going to show you guys on how Light-O-Rama works and just kind of your basic starting place. I honestly recommend Light-O-Rama to start out with because it is, as you can see over this tree, these trees here in the front, and then the starbursts and the leaping arches right here, and there's the starburst. I fully recommend Light-O-Rama at first because it does give you a little bit of a basis on knowing on how these shows work. So basically, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the Light-O-Rama portion. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over here to the Light-O-Rama Sequence Editor. We're going to open that up. It'll take just a minute. Now basically, you will have to order these from, you'll have to order the actual software from Light-O-Rama themselves. X-Lights is free, but X-Lights comes with the hardware is more expensive, while Light-O-Rama is, I'd say, more or less cheaper. It's also a much easier kind of streamlined kind of thing. So we're going to go and open up, we're going to do just a new sequence. I think that'll work out a little bit better. And basically we're going to do a new musical sequence. And we're going to probably try to do just a random song. Let's say, I don't really know what you guys would want to do, but anyway, let's see. First one I see here, we'll just go Carol the Bells. This is actually a remix. Basically, we'll just go right here. And this is actually a remix kind of thing, so it's kind of big. Actually, I'm going to go and pause my background music here as well. So as you can see here, it has channel set up, number of channels used. That's however many channels you want to use in the actual sequence. Definitely controllers I've seen, they have 8 channel, 4 channels, 16 channel. What we looked at here, this is actually a 16 channel controller. So that's the basis that I will use. So I'm going to go right here in 16. And if you keep going down, you can have your configurations. That's all unneeded. Tapper Wizard, those are perfectly fine. You don't have to add any timings. That's up to you, but I do suggest doing about 1/10 of a second. I've seen people do a second, 1/2 of a second. 1/10 of a second is for the very best results from what I've seen. So like I said, you want to add the author and the artist, title, album. That'll all be edited in. Then you go and click OK. And now this is actually going to analyze the media file and go through each file as we go. So here you go. This is your startup screen. This is Light-O-Rama at its finest. And if you see, I'm going to go and click the play button. So as you can see, it's very streamlined. You can pretty much tell 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. So basically what you want to do is, if you can go into this little button right here, this one right here actually is called View Waveform. This is going to show you a waveform view of your entire show. So right here, so if I click play, so right now you can actually see it is giving the major beats. So when it hits boom, 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 and straight across. And this song goes for quite a bit. It goes for 3 minutes 46 seconds total. So it's a pretty long song, but also like right off the bat. So what you can do here, for example, you have your fades, you have on and off. It's very simple. So if you want turn things on, you just click the on button here, and you drag where you want it to go. So we'll have all 16 channels light. Just like that. I'll go and finish that one off there. Now what you can do here is basically, I have seen a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go fade up on these major beats. So you'll have it do like that. Actually, sorry, we'll go fade down. I think fade down would look much better. So we'll go like this and do fade down. So that each time. Like I said, very simple. This is not that complicated. It's very streamlined. The software, I believe, costs about $50 depending on how much you want to go into it. They have a basic package, an advanced package, pro package, somewhere in there. As you can see, I have the Pro edition. That was when I used Light-O-Rama a lot. I still use it for smaller projects, but for the most part, like I said, don't use it as much. But here's what you'll basically see. So like I said, very streamlined effect here. This is basically just a pulsating kind of light, if you want to look at it that way. It's just going on every major beat, and you just keep going. And actually, I'll continue this one right here. This one will be a little bit short, I believe. So we're going to do that. And then I believe that is the major beat there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and start this thing over. And like I said, this is very simple. And the lights here on the side, the unit numbers, that's the actual channels. So you can see that's a very streamlined. Like I said, that's just fading up, fading down. Easy things to do there. All on, you just click the on button, you drag and drop. Off, you also have your twinkle effect. So if you want to have, let's say I want channels 6 through 9, I want them to go here. Actually, let me click back here. I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to go, say I want channels 6 through 9 to kind of almost like ring a little bit. So I'll have them go right here, and then we'll do a fade off. Whoops. There we go. So now I can actually, if I go down here and click play range, visible screen, so basically what that does is it's a twinkle effect. And it's basically what a twinkle effect is. All it's going to do is it's going to have things go in a random order, almost looking like a twinkle in the sky, which is the whole point. Your other effect here is what's called the shimmer effect. The shimmer effect is very, yet again, all of this is very streamlined. It's very simple to learn. You just have to get the hang of it. Shimmer is simply just going to make, let's say if I want to make channel 1 through 7 for this little piece, just shimmer, have a shimmer effect. And then at the same time I will have this one twinkle right after those shimmers. So I'll have the rest of the channels do kind of a twinkle effect, and then I'll have the entire thing fade down. As so. So like I said, very simple, very easy to follow. The hard part about Light-O-Rama with these regular lights, they really do get a little bit out there in the sense that it gets very difficult in order to follow how many channels it is, and I'll go and show you exactly what I mean by that. If I go and open up one of our sequences, this is actually one from last year, doing whole new songs this year. This is actually White Christmas. This was from about 2 years ago. This right here has 128 regular channels. And then you're getting into a pretty decent amount of RGB channels. I believe this is when we had 4,932 RGB channels associated with it. They were actually linked in through link-in sequences, which we'll get into a little bit later. But that's actually what you see here in new channel. So basically, we'll continue to go through these. And you can kind of see, you know, how it gets all over the place. So if I click play here. So like I said, that's when things get a little bit trickier, and also with so many things going on at one time, including RGB channels, things really get difficult over time, so you have to be able to keep track of what goes where. So like we said, that's, like I told you guys earlier, it's very easy to follow. It's just however many channels you get. The more channels, the harder it's going to get, the more detail you're going to want to add in, especially in, like, say if you have channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have that as little mini trees. You've got 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 as, say, bush lights in the background. And that's really where things like this come into handy. So you go under, maybe under Tools. It's kind of given you have your chase effect, you have your color fade effect, paint sequence, fill, intelligence fade. Intelligence fade is basically, it's the same thing as a fade, except it will kind of go up and down, usually depending on how the music works. I've never been able to fully get that, so I could be wrong there. Usually I just go ahead and I'll just do fade up, fade down. Set intensity to 50%. Basically what this allows is your intensity is at 50% no matter what you do. So if you go through here, so as you can see, it's at 50% right there. So that's not at 100%, it's just at 50, half of what it should regularly be. Now if I go into View and I go to Animation, what this is going to do, I'm not going to add an image, but if I say no to that, you'll actually see what we've got here. And basically what you can do here is you go to Draw, and this is Unit 1, 1. So I can draw a little picture for just the first channel. And now if I click play, so that associates with Unit 1.1. So that's all that is. Like I said, pretty easy, very streamlined, really not that difficult at first. However, it does go up in level. Like I said, the more channels you get. My first Halloween show started with 16 channels, then we upgraded to 32. For Christmas that same year, jumped to 64, 128, and then so on and so on. So that's kind of how that goes. Not too difficult all in all, but definitely something that can get up there in level if you do more channels. RGB, like I said, that's a whole different topic. We'll get into that at a further date. I plan to make many more videos of this. So anyway, just go ahead and comment and like and subscribe. Let me know how I did. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me anytime on Facebook, on our website, on YouTube, in the comments below. Just go ahead and make sure to message me if you guys have any questions. And then anyway, if that is about it, I will see you guys in the very next video, and hopefully in the very near future, if my schedule stays open as it seems to right now. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.